Dan, when you take a look at everything that's out there, everything that's happening in the economy, what's happening with Washington, what's your biggest concern?
Well, the biggest concern for us right now on the Quicken Loan side is Dodd-Frank and, the new regulations and the uncertainty of all of that. And I think it was something like 1,100 new pages of regulations just dedicated, to mortgage alone. And so our folks are going through all that, trying to understand that, trying to actually work with the regulators to get them, an understanding of what happens on the ground floor, on the ground level of mortgage product and production and all that. So that's probably our number one concern, the uncertainty of knowing what's going to happen and how we deal with that. One
thing that you talked about that I hadn't realized before is when you're looking at some ideas that seemed like very good common sense ideas at the time. We talked about it around this table pretty frequently, which was the idea that if you are a mortgage broker, you should have to hold on to at least a percentage of that so that you are not making stupid loans, so that you have some skin in the game too. We kind of all settled on this idea that, if you held 5% of it, that would be a good thing, and that would keep you from giving money to people who are never going to repay that money.
Right.
You pointed out that there's a problem with trying to do that.
Yeah, a little bit of a problem with that. I mean, if a mortgage broker, let's say, and, we're a little different, we're a mortgage banker and a servicing operation and all that, but a mortgage broker, I mean, if they're making, 2%, 2.5%, 3%, gross of the loan amount is gross revenue, holding 5% against that mortgage wouldn't work, right?
Because you'd be losing money.
They'd be negative every loan of capital, and they're not highly, they don't have a high net worth. So, you can deal with this through net worth requirements, maybe capital requirements overall. But when you try to say, you're going to hold a percentage of that mortgage, there's huge disincentives for most mortgage companies, banks. Obviously, those loans can come back to you. And they can be put back to you. In fact, Fannie and Freddie right now are putting back more loans than they've ever put back to the banks, and there's a lot of argument and fighting going on about that. So, there's definitely a disincentive. Now, on the mortgage broker side, I think it's what you're talking about. Mm-hmm. There's just not enough net worth there, for that to be a big threat. But then again, those loans are being underwritten by the larger net worth companies, so they should never get past that point. They shouldn't be approved because there is a huge disincentive.